Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello, all.
All right, so this is going to be an Everything Show. I have to talk about my books because I did finish, finally, book 13.
Sweet.
Thank you, sir. As you know, originally, book 13 was going to be the new Tomorrow Song sequel to Perfect Wish.
Yeah.
I always do a whole bunch of books in the background. You know, I'm dabbling and I'm like writing for this book, writing for this book, writing for this book, but always one book has my undivided attention.
Yeah.
And because my mindset went in a different direction and I started writing differently, I felt I can't possibly continue with the new Tomorrow Song book because I'm writing darker. So as you know, I have two series. I have the Sorrow Separation series and I have the Tomorrow Song series. The Tomorrow Song series is a happy, uplifting, but of course it's like big, it's the thing I'm working on now, and it's story mostly, And the Sorrow Separation series was mostly poetry, but then it evolved from story afterwards, after around book five, whatever. And it sort of like is a dark, sad, but in the end inspirational. So I always thought about doing another Sorrow Separation, and technically, my 10th book, 9 Years Time was a fitting book for like the last Sorrow Separation book, and it leads right into Promise Dream. Now, because the Sorrow Separation series is out of order, never in order, I could always go in there and put another one in. And this basically fits in nicely between, 9 years time and a little bit before, a little bit after, whatever. So I decided I wanted to do this new book 10, technically, because I had my book 10 actually, but now a 10th book in the series. So I finished it on Easter. I was very happy that I finished it. And then immediately I decided, I had this other plan, not the book that I was working on, but I always had the plan, like I was saying in the last cast, that when I wrote my book series, we have the Sorrow Separation series, which we have Sorrow Separation, Tomorrow Song, Winds of Change, Destiny's Calling, Loss of Ways, Shadows Reign, Greatness and Glory, Dark Days, 9 Years Time, right? And then I went on right after Hurricane Sandy and I put out Promise Dream, which was part of the new series. Tomorrow Song got its own series now. But always the thing was, well, how could the book Tomorrow Song be in two different series? Because technically it has to be in the Sorrow series because it shows like, it fits the thing. So while it got honored with a series of its own name, there was never a book one. And I kind of realized that because I started thinking to myself, well, you know how I always hate the Doctor Who thing with, when they made John Hurt Doctor, like the War Doctor, and I'm like, oh, this totally stop the numbering, son of a bit. And I'm like saying to myself, oh my God, did I just create the same shit that I hate? Where now I'm confusing my readers because they're like, well, where's Tomorrow Song book 1? And I'm like, well, I can't count Tomorrow Song as the first book because it's already part of the Sorrow series. So technically, but it worked though because Promise Dream needed to happen, right? It was like this whole new mindset I had, happiness, that I was writing happy. Everything changed, Sharon came into my life. I started writing more happy. It was like a whole thing. So I was always going to go back and like I always listed Tomorrow Song together with it, but it wasn't really connected. It was just by name only. So I was always going to go back and do a prequel one so that way the numbering would not get screwed up, And I always felt, well, you know what? I don't want to leave, even though like it makes sense that Sorrow Separation 9 would be whatever. I'm an even guy. I'm always about even numbers. I'm not, even though 9 is significant to the whole story, the whole thing.
You want at least a clear.
I always want an even number. So I was always going to go in and do another star separation. I was always going to go in and do a first one, right? Because the moment Promise Dream came out, I'm like, wait a minute, I can't do this like this, So now, after a while of establishing a new series, I can go back and I can show a prequel book, just like Star Wars or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like Phantom Menace or whatever. So I felt, all right, you know what? In a way, everything old is new again. It's like how 9 Years Time leads right into Promise Dream. It's like, my new book, I almost gave the title away. Sorry. Do it until I publish it. It was yeah. So the 10th book kind of leads perfectly into the first book of the positive Tomorrow Song series. I'm calling it Tomorrow Song 1 now. It's Tomorrow Song 1, but that's like one of those titles that you use like when you're filming a movie. It's not really going to be. It's going to be the first book in the Tomorrow Song series, but it's not going to be called Tomorrow Song 1, I don't think. I have a title for it, but again, I can't say it until everything is.
Yep, I understand.
Right. So we're going to get a new Star Separation 10, and we're going to get a new Tomorrow Song 1. And then when that is done, then I can go springboard back and make a sequel to this that's sitting there. And let me tell you something. The point of view, which was the new book, it's just about almost done, too. So in other words, it won't be hard for me to complete the sequel to this because I was working on it for 2 years. So and I just started, there's a whole switch change. But in a way too, like when I put the picture of the block that I made, right, of all the 12 books, I always say you can't just have one. You have to have 4 more.
Yeah.
The block has to be a block.
Yeah.
So I'm crazy like that. That's what I think. I'm like, you can't just have one. There's got to be 4. So that's my intentions actually. Is right now to work on the 4. Next now is the second. It's book 14. Working on that. Then whatever happens, if my mind changes and I decide to do different things, I do have intentions of spinning off some of my books into their own type of branch. I've always said that the odds are that there's probably going to be a Winds of Change series and maybe a Destiny's Calling series, but not every book is getting a series.
Yeah.
Because that some books are not meant to
take a long time.
Yeah, some books are not meant to have a series, because the way the book is made, it's like a one thing,
Yeah, it's a one-off.
They're all connected under my brand, but it still can't be sub pocket universe type of thing.
Yep.
It can't, because each book has a thing. Like now, Shadow's Reign could be a series because it's basically about the main character, the villain, so the evil. So that could be a series because it could be about him doing different things. The new books were focused mostly just on him, not the good guy. So that, and then there'd be other things where Winds of Change could just be poetry, and just or it could be whatever. And Destiny's Calling could be a whole other animal and glory. But Dark Days will not get a series, and 9 Years Time will not get a series. There's certain books that will not get a series because it's just not meant to be that way. So, but then again, you're talking about books that are not going to come out for a long time. I mean, I have to use a lot of regeneration energy to make sure that, at age 90, I look like this, because there's a lot of books that's going to come out. So I'm glad I'm using a little regeneration energy now. So certain places. So you know what? There you go. Well, maybe helps this out. I don't know, but anyway, here's getting back. Yeah, keep eating the pizza. Maybe the right shampoo this time too. So anyway, or it could be hair follicles that got messed up that I'm kind of fixing. So there you go. So anyway, can't wait to have my full set of hair again, which is going to happen. It's already happening. All right, I'm rambling. That's right. So, at age 45, with the 9th year anniversary of my books, we have a new book on its way, which makes me happy. And also, I have an article written about me for the new book.
Nice.
Set to be in the magazine when it's the anniversary, May 5th, of my book series. So there's going to be an article about me again that I answered questions and stuff. So I'm really happy that that's coming out. And that's also motivation to get me to get this shit done, basically.
Kudos to you. Kudos.
Yes. Also, on YouTube news, it looks like we may have found Jorga the Explorer.
Oh, no.
Now, I know we've heard his voice, but he's okay, and he may be appearing shortly. So all I'm going to say is we don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen very soon. So get used to him. He'll be appearing a couple times. So I got to get used to that accent, but okay. All right. What else, Scott? What's going on with you, man?
Nothing. Like I tried to do a couple of walkabouts today, but for whatever reason it wouldn't upload correctly, so I wasn't able to do that. I dove over and grabbed something from the mall. That's where you probably saw the Canes Cup, and definitely probably saw the Hooters Cup. I had that. But
yeah, we don't have any of that stuff here. In the city, there's a Hooters, I believe. We used to have a Hooters here that I went back in the day, but which was good. They had good stuff.
I always joke that if I ever move, I'm going to have to recon the place, because right now, the way I'm situated, I'm literally in the cleavage of restaurants. I've got
that's great, though. You got a lot of good stuff there, though.
Yes, I do. I mean, we pretty much got the whole idea here. If you ever come to Tulsa, the notion is just get on Memorial and drive, because Memorial is basically the main drag. So if you go north, you'll hit something. If you go south, you hit something.
Right.
But yeah, I got Hooters down on one side. I got Twins on the other side of me. So I'm pretty much like literally right in the cleavage of restaurants right now.
But you got a lot of, you got your haircut place there, right? You got jobs, like, the Sears was there and different things. See, me, where I live too, I like it too, because I can take a walk down the block. There's Dunkin' Donuts. A block away. Also a block away is ShopRite, okay? And then if you walk a couple of blocks, there's JH2 Comics, which is my favorite place to go, because I just, it's right there. And there's pizzerias everywhere.
I got the Villa literally across the street in the mall. Then we've got a Pizza Hut, which is literally, granted, I have to go pretty much through the mall, across the street, but there's a Pizza Hut and a Domino's there.
Right.
We've got a Starbucks in a little kiosk thing in the mall. Then we got Starbucks inside the nearest Barnes and Noble, and then near where our Pizza Hut that is, there's another Starbucks. So pretty much we've got 3 Starbucks within that little space. I've got the movie joint, my little $4 movie joint, which is literally a hop, skip, and spit away. Yeah. We've got tons of restaurants just literally lining. It's pretty much like, if you want to call it Grease Pit Row, you can call it Grease Pit Row. Okay. But I
love it too, because we could have the train that could take us anywhere. The only thing is you have to pay when you go into the ferry.
Yeah.
The last stop you have to pay, but all these other last 2 stops you have to pay, but you don't have to pay any other stops. So you take the train, and you could also, like the bus, you can go to the mall, Staten Island Mall. I keep saying the mall, like we're the only mall in existence. No, Staten Island Mall, which I love because we did it nice. The Barnes and Noble there, while I like the original, the other one, but not the original. I like they used to have a standalone one.
Yeah, you like the other one better. I know.
It was bigger. It was bigger and better. This one is small and consolidated, and I'm kind of not liking that it's too much of a food court than anything else, and they don't have movies and DVDs, and I'm like, right off the bat, I'm like, but you know what though? What I've learned it's sad though, is that they're phasing out the Blu-rays and the DVDs.
Yeah, I knew they would,
and it sucks because you know what? I love going to see that stuff. But when was the last time I really bought
I grabbed I got the PS4 because I was thinking, great, I can start getting Blu-rays and that. And now that I've got it, it's like, I don't see anything I really want.
Well, I got to tell you, the funny thing is, because I don't really get the new games when it comes out because it's so expensive, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But,
I think it's kind of stupid.
Like, I've been wanting the Gradius, the Konami collection. There's 3 of them coming out. We've been talking about this for years, that I wanted a Contra collection. Remember I said that? A Castlevania collection? They finally did it years later. So they did a thing, I call it Gradius, but they have Nemesis, all these different things, like Gradius sequels, with the arcade versions and an arcade Castlevania thing, but it's called Haunted Cast, whatever. So I bought that. It was $20. It was, and you download it from the PlayStation Network if you have the membership of the PlayStation Plus. What you can do is you take your credit card, you put money in the thing called the wallet, your wallet, electronic wallet, and then you buy these things. It sucks that they added tax to it because we were doing
I know that was stupid.
But I bought, and I also been telling you for like months, I'm like, I really want to play that Bloodwing because even though it's like an indie game, it looks like a fun indie game, game, So and that's what I've always said. I like just shooting zombies without being stressed out that I don't have bullets to shoot zombies. I love Resident Evil games, but certain Resident Evil games, like, you would have a lot of bullets. The thing that bothers me with the new one is that you're scrounging for bullets. Now, I'm sure
you're pretty much hunting and pecking for the things,
Right, if you beat the game, there's probably a thing where you get unlimited, which is great, which would be more fun. But if you're just worried about shooting a zombie because you're going to run out of bullets, then that's not fun. And that's why I'm not playing Resident Evil Reboot constantly because it's just annoying. As it is, you have to solve puzzles and shit, and you have to do all kinds of stuff. And now you got to worry about what bullets you use on what monster. It's like, and then I don't want to stab him in the head, and then it's like a whole other thing. So, but with this game, you buy the bullets, you shoot the zombies, you got to run around. Now, of course, my thumb is all red.
Yeah, you got gamer thumb. Yeah,
it's again discoloration. But I was having fun. And
I was playing Witcher 3, and I'm at this one particular spot where there's explosive mist gas, and I battle these spirits real good. And okay, I'm going to set out a fire burst. Yeah. Well, what happens is I find myself too close and I get myself knocked. Damn it. And I do it and you know how you say, I'm not going to do it, and you end up doing it every single time? That's the way it was with me.
Yeah.
There's a game I know it's an old game. It's an old computer game. I wish I could get it on this computer, but I can't. It's called, there's some Might and Magic games, 6 and 7, which are really, really cool. And you've got these little tiles down on the bottom, and that's it. In one you've got only 4 characters. The other one you've got 5 characters, 6 characters, 5 or 6 characters. I always thought that was fun.
Right.
And so.
Okay. Very nice. What else am I talking about? And I hope you guys enjoying these casts. We're not just talking about movies. We're feeling comfortable here and we're talking about different things. So now I got cable again. Well, okay, correction. I basically pick and choose what channels I want, which is so much better. Because you're not locked to find all this crap you don't need. So I'm going to start watching whatever horror movies they have and whatever movies I missed. And I'm going to be reviewing them on here. But if you told me about that movie, I really want to go see that movie. More than I wanted to see it. It was a movie that I'm like, yeah, if we have nothing to do, we can go see it. But now that you're telling me all these things, that it's part of the Conjuring universe.
Yep.
Why wouldn't they promote it that way?
I heard about. They talked about this on another site. They're thinking so. I think they were afraid that how we've got all these MCU movies. They didn't want anybody.
No, but they have set
the
Conjuring movies. No, but you know what though? They have the universe lined up, set.
Yeah.
And it's like the Crooked Man is going to be a movie, probably The Nun 2, but this was never. So this is an unofficial.
This is an unofficial. This is like a. This is like a one-off.
It's an unofficial. It acknowledges the universe.
Yeah, it acknowledges the Annabelle.
It acknowledges. Okay, so but still, they should have said something. That's,
like the guy said, what they like. I said, I don't remember the web. I don't remember the YouTube site. But they're saying the guy made the loose comments. I think because we have all these MCU movies going on now, and they did want to risk this whole MCU, something similar like an MCU.
They don't want to overflow the amount of movies.
An overflow, exactly. Thank you. An overflow or a burnout.
Because right now they want everybody talking about Annabelle 3, not La La Ra, whatever.
Yeah.
Because if that, like, in other words, that would really screw shit up.
It would have taken away from the movie, yeah.
Right, Annabelle is like
that Lalarama. Oh boy, I loved it.
Wow. Okay.
It makes you jump. Like I said, the ending is sort of.
Yeah, man, I can't stand when there's shitty endings lately.
No, it's not. It's not. I wouldn't call it a shitty ending. It's just like the typical defeat ending, but still, it's good. But there is no. I don't know if you want to call this an Easter egg or not, but at least at the end, you hear the woman weeping again at some particular time during the closing credits. Right. But it was good. It was good.
So I don't know. I mean, Avengers is probably going to be the next movie I see.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we'll just see what the hell it is. I mean, I'll see Shazam.
I get paid on Thursday. So I don't know if I'll go with the 7 o'clock thing or I'll wait till when I'm off again.
I think I'm going to definitely see Aquaman before I see Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. Because I have to see it.
Aquaman was good. Aquaman was good, and Shazam was real good too.
Okay. What else do we have to talk about? I think there's a few things. Let's see.
It was real weird that they were talking about Jason Momoa. He said he shaved off his beard and all that.
Yeah.
For some little thing. And
I heard
look
that.
at, oh, man, that is just weird as can be.
Looks weird, right? All right, so we do have news. Yeah. The Picard series has gone into production. Now, the only thing I'm going to say about that is because we've heard so many conflicting things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put my 2 cents into it, and we know that Jonathan Frakes is going to direct some episodes. It's supposed to debut in the fall. Okay. I'll believe stuff when I see it because I've heard so many. I heard there was some arguments on the set when they were planning stuff, and I'll feel safe when episode 1 is done. But I don't know if I could really think that this is going to work. Being of all the bad blood that we've heard, that even if it does, it will only be 1 series. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like, So let's see how it goes. So there's that. What else do we have? They said Cyberpunk 2077 is going to look very different to E3. Why do they got to change shit for? That shit.
They've been working on that thing I couldn't play for how long, and it is a first-person shooter.
Yeah, but when they showed it, it looked great, right? So if we're going to buy that and it's not going to look like that, then that's going to suck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I hate when they do shit like that. But not really a lot of news today.
I forget what the spacefaring game was, but they were promising all this stuff for this one spacefaring game for the computer for PS4, and when it came out, they're like, ooh.
Yeah. Right now, like, Game of Thrones is the biggest thing that we're talking about. I don't know. You watched them? You caught up with it?
Game of Thrones. I still gotta watch this latest episode.
Okay.
Because when I was coming back from the mall, I thought, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, I think that is it for tonight. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Scott. Take care. Bye for now.